Hello and welcome to this video. I am Karnesh Johri and this video is about how to take backups in Linux. Your data is precious. It is a resource. A computer, like any system, can malfunction sometimes. It can have a partial or total breakdown. But we must not lose our data. And if there's a loss, it should be minimized. To safeguard against data loss in the event of system malfunctioning, we take periodic backups of important data. In this video, we look at two approaches related to backups. In the first approach, the source directory tree is replicated at the destination. The second approach creates an archive for the source directory tree, and this archive is the backup. If necessary, the source directory tree can be reconstructed from the archive. So let's get started with the commands for taking backups in Linux. The operating system provides a file system wherein all files in the computer system are organized. The file system organizes files in a hierarchical tree structure where the files are interconnected nodes. There are constraints like each node can be connected to many children but only one parent, and there cannot be any cycles or loops, that is, no node can be its own ancestor. The topmost node is the root directory, and all directories have 0 or more children. Files other than directory, that is, simple files, and special files like devices, sockets, FIFOs, or leaves. Somewhere in this tree, there is a /home directory where the directory of users are located. So let's say there's a user with user ID user1, then the home directory of this user is /home/user1. And in this home directory, there's a directory named src for which backup is to be taken. Taking backup means making a copy and keeping it safe. Here we have the src directory and we can use the rsync command to copy it to dst. That is rsync-avz src dst. What we get at the end of the command is like this. The entire src directory tree is copied under dst. If dst exists prior to this command, it must be a directory. It can't be a simple file. If dst does not exist, it is created. Normally, we do not wish to copy src under dst. We want to copy contents of src under dst so that dst is a copy of src. We can slightly modify the rsync command, add a slash after src, signifying the contents of src, and the job is done. Suppose we have copied the contents of src to dst and then made changes in some files in src and also deleted some files in src. We want dst to be an exact replica of src. For this, we can use the -- delete option, which means in addition to copy, delete files in dst which are not in src so that dst becomes an exact replica of src. If dst is on a remote host, we need to add user ID and host IP address before dst. That is rsync-avz -delete src/user1@hostip:/dst. Here dst is not starting with slash, so it is in user1's home directory. Now if some files are big, we can use the -- progress option, which shows the progress counter as files are copied. What is the best thing about rsync? rsync is a smart file copying program. It tries to minimize the data transfer. For example, If there is a file in src which is already there in dest and there is no difference, that file is not copied. So data transfer, time for copying are minimized. Quite often, we really do not want to replicate the source directory tree somewhere as a part of the backup procedure. We want something simpler. We want backup as an archive file containing a flattened version of the directory tree. We can use the tar command. Why is it called tar? Well, tar stands for tape archival. In olden days, backup used to be taken on sequential magnetic tape. The random access hard disk was considered a costlier resource, and sequential magnetic tape was a cheaper resource, and it was used for taking backups. Of course, we can use tar command for taking backups on hard disk. The usage is tar options file. The options are C for copy, X for extract, Z for filtering archive through gzip, F for indicating archive file name, V for verbose. For example, tar-cvzf archive file. C is for copy to create an archive, V is for verbose, Z is for passing it through gzip, F is to indicate archive file name, and file is what is to be backed up. Then tar-xvzf archive file name. Here X is for extract, V is for verbose, Z is for gzip, F is for indicating archive file name. We'll look at examples and it will become little more clear. Suppose we have src directory under /home/user1/www and we want to take backup of src. We keep our backup archive in /home/user1/backup directory. We first change directory to /home/user1/www. The command for taking backup is tar-cvzf /home/user1/backup /src.tar.gz src. The archive is /home/user1/backup /src.tar.gz, and the last parameter is src, which is to be backed up. Now src will have subdirectories and some of these might have subdirectories too, and so on. Since we have changed directory to /home/user1/www, all paths are src onwards and are stored in the archive, so that we can restore src directory tree anywhere in the file system, since directory before src are not stored. Now we have the backup and we should be able to restore from the backup. It is quite simple. Change directory to where you want to install the src directory tree and give the command tar-xvzf /home/user1/backup /src.tar.gz. The -x option is for extract. With -f, we indicate the archive file, and since all paths relative to src are stored in the archive, there is no problem. src can be installed anywhere in the file system and not necessarily at /home/user1/www. After the tar command, we can find the SHA-256 checksum for the archive file. The command is SHA-256sum file greater than checksum file. So in this case it becomes SHA-256sum src.tar.gz greater than src.sha256. We can keep the archive file and checksum file together. To check whether the checksum matches the archive file, We can give the command sha256sum minus c checksum file, that is, in this case, sha256sum minus c src.sha256, and if it matches, system says OK, otherwise it prints the error message. We have seen that we can use rsync and tar commands for taking backups in Linux. You can find more information on this at SoftPrayog. Here's a QR code for the web page, and the link is there in the description. Please subscribe to SoftPrayog, click on the bell icon, and enable notifications. Thanks very much for watching. Take care and stay safe.